just waiting for others also to join it. I hope you can see my screen now. Yes. Hi, Pradeep.
Oh, it's gone again.
You will just see it in a minute. I hope you can see it now.
Yeah.
Now, okay.
Yes.
Okay, so I don't know what is the problem. In the data, when you will untar that file, this is how you can untar that file on the Unix world. When you untar that file, that has two tab separated files. One is your forum data, that is the real data which I was showing you on in the previous picture or previous diagram which was created over there. And the next one is your user related data. So before coming to that, let's talk about this forum data. So it has a tab separated by this order. The first thing is the ID of that node, a title of that node, what the title given by the user, tag names. If the question, there would be tag names also. Author ID, the user ID who has created that node, the body, what he is written in the question or answer or the comment, the node type, whether it's a question, answer or comment, parent ID. So if a comment is there, so for this comment the parent ID is answer 1, and for this comment the parent ID is question 1. For this answer 1, parent ID is question 1. So this is what is the parent ID. And absolute parent is the thing is, so say for this comment the absolute parent is question 1 only. So that's the so question is the absolute parent for any of these things. So each question would have all these hierarchy. So absolute parent would be the corresponding question ID for which this comment or an answer or is associated to. And edit date is the date and time when that node was created or that particular question or answer or comment was created. So let me switch back to the data. Okay, so here this is your ID, which I was showing you over there. ID of this node, the title. So say this is a question which someone has created with a sample page of homework. Then the text. So he has given these 3 texts to this data: CS101, missing info, and homework. This is
your screen is blank, Miraj. Miraj, your screen is blank.
It's still blank?
No, it is not. It is not. Yes, I can see.
Oh.
I can see too. Rohit, just restart.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the ID, the author ID or user ID. Then this is your body of the question. So I am sorry, I am being a knob. I don't see all these things. And the beauty about this thing is this question text is segregated across lines. So this is the part of the question. Then the next part of the question is where I can get the sample pages, cheers, and this is where your whole question text is finished from, starting from here, and it has finished over here, and it's segregated across different lines. So first beauty about this problem is your data is segregated across lines, but it's separated by codes. So everything is there in the codes, tab separated code files. Then this is the type of the node. So this is the question type. Then if there is a question type, the parent ID and absolute parent ID is nulls. So these are slash and kind of thing. I think in the data you would see that as null only, or you might see slash and I'm not sure. Just check it. I think probably you might be seeing it as null. And if it's null, you have to change it to /n, because Hive, when you load this data into Hive, if you are using Hive or pick kind of thing, they will treat null as a string. So you have to create /n kind of thing, or change the configuration of Hive to read null as a null or /n as a null. Then this is the time when this was created, and time and a few more things I added it. Okay. Similarly, there are others also, and this is the type of, again, type of a question. There will be some type of answers and all those things. And all the data is separated by tabs. So if you read that ID as the whole string, that will come as a string rather than integer. So all these problems I have just highlighted in the PDF. And another file is your user related TSP file, which is again a tab separated file with inverted commas, everything in inverted comma. And this file also has a header. So again, you have to take care while loading the data, remove the header from this file. This is a user ID, his reputation, what kind of reputation he has. And the gold, silver and bronze are the, comments, or, the rating given to these users based on the questions he asked or answers he asked or comments he gave on the questions and answers. So based on these, the popularity of user comes up. Gold, silver and bronze points. So this is the data which I've shown you, forum text and the user text. User has a user ID, and this user ID associated to author ID in this file, in this data. Now, first thing is what you have to think of while you are creating the whole system. The first, so when you are creating a big data system, first time you will be importing the data from your source systems, and that will be a dump of big data. And later on, you will be getting a data daily kind of thing, and you will be processing that data. So in this, while you are designing this whole solution, you have to think in the same way. First time you have got this whole zip which is historical data, but starting when your system will be at productionized, you will get the data each day in your system, and your solution should be sufficient enough to load the data which is coming into your SGFS Word daily. So that data might be coming into some directory by some push mechanism or pull mechanism. You don't have to worry about that thing, but your solution should be intelligent enough to handle that thing. So incremental, it can load the data from the directory, which is configurable, where you will be loading the daily data, and you'll be appending that data to all the summarization or ETL you are doing on the data. So that you have to take care that there is a first dump on your data, and later on you'll be getting, once you productionize this thing, you will be getting the daily data into your productionized production system. And I've also given some assumptions which you can safely take up to make your solution a little easy. Then before loading the data, these are the few complexities in the data. You have to clean your data prior loading it. So cleaning code, you can use Hadoop streaming, you can use Pig, you can use MapReduce. It's again all your wish. You have to think of all these technologies, and now you will recall all those things, and now you will be able to understand why I was talking 4 or 5 different things, if I can do same thing with MapReduce only. How easy it becomes when I use different technologies to process this kind of data. So first thing, as I was told you, this is the most complex thing. Your data is segregated across different lines. However, that is there, the codes are starting and ending up, and there are codes in between your data also. So this code started over here and ending over here, and in between user also gave a code in his comment. So this is how those codes are there. And this data is segregated across lines, so somehow you have to create it as a single row. Then there are codes like this in the data, so when you load integers, that will also create problems. So you have to think about that. Then your time has a time zone component as well, or microsecond, millisecond. When you are really doing the analysis, you might be converting this to a single time zone. Then the nulls should be changed to /n, so that Hive or Pig can read them as a null, rather than otherwise they will read them as strings, and you might get issues while you are doing the real data processing. And data is separated by tabs, so whichever technology you are using, you have to use tab as a separator. And you might feel other complexities also, but these are the few things, challenges which you will definitely feel. Now, so you have a dump of the file, the first dump, and later on you'll be getting the data daily in some of your SGFS directory. So you have to create a whole workflow. If possible, you can create the whole UZI workflow, but if otherwise you can create the individual files of whatsoever you want to run, a MapReduce code and followed by a pig, followed by a hive, whatsoever you want. It's all again all your wish, or a streaming process to filter the data, anything whichever is comfortable to you. And based on that, you would be doing a data processing daily based on these performance statements. Some of these performance statements are like they need to be done daily. Some of these performance statements are like these are kind of data analysis which you are doing on the data. So there are two kind of performance statements over here. So based on the performance statement, you might be thinking of now how you get in the data, how you filter the data, should you be partitioning your data, should you be bucketing your data, and all those things. So the first two problem statements are the problem statements which we'll be requiring to run daily. So your solution should be intelligent enough to handle both of these things daily and able to filter out or figure out these things daily. The first one talks about indexing frequently used words. So what I want is I want to index the frequently used words so that on the search box when I type any word, I can easily able to filter out the corresponding questions or answers which contain those words. So I have to create indexes. I have to find out frequently used words and I have to create indexes on that. I've also given some hints how to solve this problem. Second thing is I want to do something like Twitter. So users have given tags on my questions. So I want to find out the top tags so that I can display those top questions which are hot today. I want to display them on top of my page so that other users can look into them. So I want to frequently find out top tags every day so that I can display those questions on the top of my page. So both of these things require your processing of the data daily, and you have to design both of these solutions in such a manner that whatsoever jobs you're writing, so basically you can't achieve that in a single hive command or a single pick command. You have to think of to basically run 2 or 3 queries or 5-6 things to achieve all these things. So that you have to think of. And now I hope you are getting the picture what I was talking till now. And the third one is little interesting thing. So here to come up with the answer of this question, you might be connecting your Tableau with your data or the tables which you have created to look into the data. So what I'm saying is there are some bad users also based on the user reviews, the gold, silver points which are given to the user. There are some bad users also. So what I want to do is these bad users, what is the problem with these bad users is they write unnecessary answers to my questions. They unnecessarily ask troublesome questions which is a noise to my system. They put irrelevant comments to the questions or answers, and that is a noise to my system. So I want to hire a reviewer who will review my comments or the answers which are given by these bad users. So I want to reduce the salary because this reviewer cost me too high. So I want to reduce the salary as much as possible. So what I want is when these bad users are highly active in my system, so that I can hire the reviewer according to that. So max to max I want to pay him max 5 hours a day, but now you have to do data analysis. You have to figure out what are the feasible timings on which I can hire the reviewer. Would it be possible to hire it just for 2 hours, 3 hours? There are few assumptions which you can take while thinking of the solution to this problem, that reviewer can work in multiple hours. So say he can work 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the evening. As soon as someone posts a review, he can some comment or some question or answer by a bad user, he can review at that time instantaneously. He does not take any time to review that. So these are a few assumptions I have highlighted over here. You can ignore the time zone part if you are facing complexities with the time zone, and you can assume that all these codes are coming in the same time zone. So these are a few assumptions which you can take and find out how much is the max duration for which I should hire this reviewer to review the comments which are given by the bad users, and how can I reduce his salary to a minimum level. So this is a real analytics problem which I have given to you. And the third, so this is a, this is a quantitative kind of analysis. Then the last one is a predictive analysis, which I want you to do on the system. So based on the nodes which are coming up today or the comments that are coming onto my system, I want to predict what would be the space usage in my system or how much HDFS memory I have to buy after 5 years down the line. So this is the kind of predictive analysis which you have to do on it. So first two statements are, each day batch processing on your system. The second one is the kind of, analysis, and the last one is the predictive analysis which you have to do on the data. And if you are able to do these things, I am definitely sure that, you will understand the system in very detail, and you can handle any kind of questions or queries from your managers or from any of the interviews. And now, does it give sense to you what I was talking till date and how that is used in the industry?
Yes, Miraj, it does. But only thing is, we don't have a way to get the incremental data, right? But
yes,
you just said that we should keep that in mind, right?
Yes. So I can't point you to the streaming data. So that's the reason I just said you while designing you keep it in mind. Each day your data would be read from a directory. So from this file you can segregate a one day data and you can put it in the file, so that you first run it on the whole file minus that one day data, and then you run your incremental solution to check your solution whether your solution is fit enough with the incremental data. So practically that will happen with you on the production system also. No one will, start on the first day will integrate the production system to the Hadoop. They will just give you a dump of some of the data, and once you do all the testing and you make your system, then they will give you the real dump, and they will point your streaming data to your SDFS. So that is the feeling which I wanted to give you. Any comments, any question on this problem statement? Don't ask me for how you will be doing it. I will be leaving it to you, how you want to think. You are open to think anything. It's all dependent on you, how you want to implement it, how you want to create the solution. But if you have any questions related to any of these problem statements, any of the data, I will help you. Too quiet. Okay. So now I leave it to you. When you want to have your next class, you want to discuss this thing. How much time would you think will you take? And we'll have a class at a mutual coordination of everyone. So when you think you would be able to do this thing, and based on this solution which will be given to me, this will be reviewed by me and by one more people, and based on that you would get your corresponding certificates also. But whenever you feel any issues or technical challenges, drop me an email directly in between, and I will help you. And I need a time frame. What do you think we want to have the next class? Or if you don't want to decide it right now, you can drop me an email, and we can decide on that that over the emails also. So that thing I'll leave it to you when you want. Yeah.
I say 2 weeks, Miraj, but
yeah. So
that about others.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It's all upon your mutual coordination when you want, and we can have it. We can have the discussion after that time only. So what others says? Avidat, Girish, Pradeep.
As I said, 2 weeks sounds good. Well.
Sure. Okay. So I'll drop an email to everyone, and you can all reply if you think you want more time or less time, and we can have a discussion after that for this problem statement. So look into this deeper side. Drop me an email whenever you feel a problem or anything, technical problem, anything, or you think what should be the solution if you are facing some challenges while thinking of and all those things. You can drop me an email directly anytime. So okay, okay, we'll finalize 2 weeks is fine with everyone. I'll drop an email to everyone, and based on your inputs, then I'll send you a meeting invite for the class.
So Miraj, you want to do one by one review, or in a class you want to review whatever
I
progress?
think better in the class, because that will again give you a lot of thoughts what people thought of in different directions.
Right. Right.
And that will be a really interactive rather than doing it individually.
Yeah.
Anything anyone want to ask? Anything?
Nothing at this moment.
Okay. Sure. Okay. Then yeah, thanks everyone. I think it was a great batch. A lot of interaction. Everything was really good. And thanks for listening me. And I hope you got a lot of things which I was trying to explain up. And it really helps me, motivated when you people learn. Otherwise, I also feel like get bored when people do not ask or do not interact. But I think this was really great, and thanks Pradeep all for your great words. And I'll just leave the mic to you if you want to say anything. I'll just leave it to you, starting from Abhijat.
Okay, well, I did not expect it to go into actually so much details after the first class. I really thought it would have been basic, but really I got to learn a lot of things. And this problem statement is exactly what I was talking about in the previous class. This will, ensure that we go back to our all the classes, we go through all our topics again, and this actually sums it up very nicely. So thank you.
Sure, thank you. Girish, anything?
Yeah, I have nothing much to add from Abhijat. In fact, of course, even really helpful and patient, because as you know, we all are not from the same similar background. We are all from different walks of life. You have heard us and tried to help us your best way.
Thank you. Pradeep.
Hey Miraj, so thank you so much for accommodating my schedule, and you've been great all through the course, so I just wanted to thank you. So it was a very nice class. I learned quite a bit.
Thank you for that.
I'm going to try out these practical sessions. Let's see how this goes, but thank you so much.
Thank you for that.
Thanks for all the effort. Very well taken. Thank you. Great job.
Thank you. Rohit.
Yeah. Thanks, Miraj. I really understood big data world, because before this class, I mean, this was just a word which I was curious about. But yeah, you handled really well. Classes were well paced, and the way you approach, you take the questions and the class. That was really
Any feedback you want to give for me? Anything which I can improve, or anything that will also help me in improving myself? Anything which you think was not good or anything?
No, only thing is we are trying to sell your abilities. In a party recently, we were thinking that okay, if we win $1 million contract, maybe we'll hire Miraj as our consultant to do something, and we practice it. If we break something, Miraj is there to help us.
Yeah, Pradeep, I definitely agree with you. I got this comment from a lot of people, but actually when I start talking in the flow and I just keep on very fast. Yeah, I really know this is the problem. Yeah, I'll try my best to be slow. And today I was trying to be slow only. But yeah, this is a feedback which I got from a lot of people. Yes, I'll try my best to be slow on that part. Thanks for that. Any other comment anyone has? No, okay.
So Miraj, I have just one more question. Maybe I was asking too many questions. Sorry for others if I was taking some extra time. So Miraj, yes, today I was looking at the slide. So horizontal scaling is the thing which is I mean most plus in this Hadoop system, right?
Yeah.
So I think you mentioned Yahoo has I think 1,000 plus node cluster, and somebody has 5,000 node plus cluster, right? So horizontal scaling also have a limit, right? Yesterday you were saying that nodes were strong. They were 16 core processor and 30-40 GB RAM. That is a better idea instead of having our laptops or like commodity machine and then increasing the nodes, right? Because if you again go to let's say 10,000 nodes again, maybe there will be another node to node communication overhead which can come, right?
No, Rohit, again, it will depend not only on that thing, that depends on the pockets which you have, the kind of cluster you are buying up, where you are segregating it, your machines are physical or virtual machines, all those things depend. So that was a structure because the costing model which we have adopted, we have used a VM structure from one of the companies. So that will again depend, that not only depends on this thing, that depends on X number of factors, but you see, it's not like that you have to have 32 node, 32 CPU machines kind of thing. You as I told you in the first class, it's all commodity hardware you can connect and you can achieve all this processing power. So it's not like that only, but that depends on what kind of infrastructure you want to have. That will depend on the kind of system you are using. You are using VMs. You are using physical machines. What you are using. What is the pricing model? What is cheaper to you?
So nodes which you were showing yesterday, or the cluster which you were showing, were those like Solris machines? I mean, Windows may not support that 16 core kind of.
That was Unix machines, yes. Okay, at the back end, what is the hardware? I'm not sure, but the machines are Unix.
Okay. And I think mainframe machines also can be used. So whatever operating system is there, but if it is able to simulate using VM, actually, if it is able to simulate, I think, right?
Yes.
That also is possible.
Yes, definitely, yes.
Okay, Miraj.
Okay, then, thanks a lot. I think this is because of you we are able to do all these things. And thanks a lot for all your help. Even if you want any problem or anything, just drop me an email directly. And I'll definitely try my best to help you.
Thanks, Miraj. Yeah,
Sure.
really.
Thank you.
Okay.
Have a nice day.
Girish.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Girish.
Okay.
Bye-bye.